Hello, Word Pathfinder. Welcome once again to another week of our character, ethics, and value campaign, The Secret of the Top 1%. Last week, we looked at, the principle conflict. Today, we're looking at the leadership principle, confrontation. Okay? If conflict is not well managed, it will lead to confrontation. So what is confrontation? Confrontation is usually a result of bad management of conflicts. A result of bad management of conflict. It is a hostile or argumentative situation between opposing parties. It is a situation where two players or two sides compete to win. So they are competing for their own position to stand. Conflict becomes confrontational when we say unkind words, when we raise our voice, or become aggressive with our expression. Anytime we are expressing and we become aggressive with our expression of our opinion, okay, that's confrontation. In our lives, in our family, in our business relationship, we will inevitably have conflict that will lead to confrontation. Therefore, how we manage this confrontation will determine our success in life and business. That's why we are bringing this video your way. Why is management of conflict key to a business leader's success? Why is it key? It is key because every one of us have a natural tendency every time we are confronted, every time we face confrontation, we have a natural tendency to get defensive and argumentative. Why? Because we don't want to be proven wrong. So there is this natural thing for everyone to want to defend because nobody wants to be proven wrong. So why is such a difficult thing, okay, to be proven wrong? You may ask. To be proven wrong can be humiliating. It can be humbling. It hurts our pride. So, as a result, what we do, we defend our position even when we know that we may be wrong or we are exaggerating the truth. Because we don't want to be proven wrong, what do? We defend our position. But it's important to understand that no one is always right in every situation. That you and I cannot be always right in all situations. When we admit that, it is easier for us to say we can be wrong. All of us are usually partly right, and that is why where we get into trouble sometimes. So why do we get into trouble? What's the reason we get into trouble? Because we are partly right. Because we know that we have some truth, okay, in our position, sometimes we freely give our opinion as if we know everything, not giving the opinion by the understanding that we only know one side of the situation. We give our opinion as if we know all the things. We are all knowing. But no man is all knowing. We only know a part of the situation. Okay, so we must give our opinion, not freely as if we know all the situation. The second reason why knowing a bit of the truth can set us, put us in trouble is that for some of us, because we know a little, we want to be heard, we want to be noticed. And as such, what happened? We tend to defend the positions that are not even right because we want to be heard, we want to be noticed. Thirdly, for majority of us, okay, as soon as we take a position, as soon as we express an opinion, we are committed to defending that opinion and defending that position. And each time we defend ourselves, it becomes more costly for us to admit we're wrong, which is difficult to do in most cases. In most cases, it's difficult to admit that we are wrong. And that's an area where each and every one of us need to grow. To be able to come to a place where you are vulnerable enough to admit that you are wrong when you are wrong. I find this a general human attribute. It plays out in our business endeavor. For example, if you start a new idea, you have a new business idea, and you commit and you invested in it, okay, it is always difficult to get to a point where you become obvious that that idea will not work. Because you are invested already in it, it becomes difficult to quit. So you want to make it work because you have already invested in it. So and the more you invest in that idea, the more difficult it will become for you to quit. In the same way, when we have spoken an opinion, we become committed to defending it. This is where we need to develop our strength of character to be able to be vulnerable enough to say I was wrong. This is strength of character to get to a point where you can say, I may be wrong or I was wrong. We need to say that the confrontation is related to what we speak, and our words can be very powerful. Our word can be a measure of our character development and a measure of our leadership level. So gaining control over our tongues, over our voice, over our word is a sure way to gain control over all sorts of confrontation. Okay, I give you an example. We all have a disagreement. We all do. Disagreements always exist. But it's important to manage and control our voice, our tone of our voice during this confrontation. Why? Because our voice can be powerful. One major measure of our maturity, one major measure of our character development is self-control, how well we're able to control ourselves. And the measure of our self-control is our ability to control what we say and how we say it in the face of confrontation. What do you say? How do you say it when you are confronted? In the face of confrontation, okay, how do you respond? What's the tone of your voice? How do you manage what you say? This is going to be a measure of how, okay, all right, how advanced you are in your growth, in your character development. The Bible put it very clear. It says, we offend in many things, many ways. But any man that does not offend people with his word, that man is a perfect man. And that man is able to control every aspect of his life. So you find out that the measure of your self-control is whether your word offends or not. So your words can be a measure of your level of self-control. Even why Solomon said that soft words, soft answer turns away wrath, which means that soft answer turns away confrontation. So when we respond in the face of confrontation with soft and gentle words, what happens? Our opponents respect us and consider our point of view. This gives us a chance to continue discussion. Remember that what you want to achieve, you want to pass across a message, you want to pass across a point of view. And when you are not able to pass this point of view across by reason of confrontation, then you have not succeeded in your communication. It's amazing how powerful words can be in the hands of those who know how to use them. Very powerful. That's why we are saying that there's a need for you to develop how to use word in the face of confrontation so that you can pass your message across and be able to achieve success in life and business. So that's why the word like I'm sorry, for example, are so powerful. And when you use the word like I'm sorry, when it comes from a sensitive tone, they are not only powerful, but they can disarm others in the face of confrontation. So soft words can be powerful and disarming in the face of confrontation. So a soft, slow answer is more powerful, can be more powerful than tanks and gun. Therefore, the result of control over our words is good relationship, which also gives us the right to express our opinion without what? Without confrontation. So in this case, you are able to pass your opinion across. But on the other hand, also, poor communication destroys relationship, waste time, waste our energy, hinder us from resolving the problem that is at hand. So it's very important that we know how to communicate in the face of confrontation. Because if you don't get the communication right, it will waste your time, it will destroy your relationship, it will waste your energy, it will hinder you from resolving the problem and passing across the message that you want to pass across. We may win the argument. Listen to this. Sometimes in the face of confrontation, we may win the argument, but we lose the point we're trying to make. We can't pass the point across, and we can possibly lose the relationship in the process. Therefore, good communication equals good relationship, and good relationship equals success in life and in business. So what are the benefits of good management of confrontation? Let's look at the benefit. 1, learning to manage confrontation teaches us how to respond to situation. In the course of this campaign, we have said severally that we don't have control over the things that happen to us. So we don't even have control over people confronting us, okay? But we have control over our response. And how good our response are is going to determine the kind of results that we get. So when you learn how to manage confrontation, it teaches you how to give the right response to situation so that you can get the right outcome. 2, successfully managing confrontation will help us maintain good relationship and keep the communication open. Remember that what you want to establish is keeping the communication open so that you can always pass across your point of view. Okay, so when you know how to manage confrontation, you can maintain healthy relationship and be able to pass, okay, your message across and keep the communication open. Remember that it is not all about winning at all costs. When discussion develop into an argument, we all have this aggressive attitude that may want us to believe, that, we have won the fight by being aggressive. But we have not won. The truth is that we have not won. We have only won when we can maintain good interaction and keep the communication open. That's when we can say we have won, okay, in a confrontation. So anytime you are not able to continue with the communication by reason of, confrontation, you have not won in that situation. 3, handling confrontation properly will keep us humble. This is very important. So we must learn to use words like, I may be wrong, I don't know, okay, I'm not sure. Why? Because you don't know everything, really. I don't know everything. So, admitting in front of others, that we don't know is a key aspect of great communication. 4, dealing with communication will train us to see other people's point of view. Remember that it's important also that you get perspective so that you can grow. Without perspective from others, you cannot grow. So you need to learn words like you may be right. That's an interesting point of view. Acknowledging other people's point of view is a great way to disarm, the situation, and for you to be able to pass across your point of view and make sure that your own point of view is accepted. Why? Because you are acknowledging other people's point of view. So how do I grow? How do you grow in managing confrontation? 1, maintain good relationship. This is very important because when you now communicate, you don't have the fear that your opinion can escalate to confrontation because you have a good relationship. Better to maintain healthy relationship than lose friends where always the need to get right. You don't have to be right all the time, and don't lose your friends because you want to be right at all costs. 2, look for a way to agree. And one way to agree is to, show understanding about where those people are coming from their own point of view. Words like I see. You can disagree with an opinion without negating that opinion. That's very important. So you can disagree with other people's opinion without opposing it. 2, look for a way to agree. We have looked at that. 3, notice where things are coming and see if the engagement is still worth it at that point in time. It's very important. Why is this important? When you are going in the offensive direction and the other person is going in the defensive direction, what you're actually doing, you are building a wall that will separate the two of you and will not allow the communication to continue. So 4, control confrontation using soft answer and smile. We have looked at that already. Okay, because when you do, what happens? You are in control of your emotion, and your body language is very critical, in managing confrontation. 5, always finish with a peaceful close. It doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree. Shake hands after disagreement. Acknowledge that you don't have to agree in everything. Make room for difference in opinion. That's very key. So that what happened, he said, I think it was Bob Marley that said, he that fights and run away lives to fight another day. So you need to be able to continue the conversation subsequently and don't close, the opportunity to continue to communicate. 6, develop the skill of seeing the value in others and in their opinion. Don't be boastful or have an overconfident attitude, but rather downplay your own knowledge. But acknowledging that they may be right can calm the situation, okay, and give you an opportunity to express your own opinion, and they can, accept your own point of view. Because why? You also acknowledge that they can be right. As I conclude, note that the way we use and handle words may determine whether we have war or peace, whether we have friends or enemies, and whether we have success or failure in life and business. Also know that if we know something for sure, we do not have to scream or get loud or harsh. That is a sign of insecurity. You need to understand that. It is embarrassing, or it can be embarrassing, to be wrong at the top of your voice. Have you ever imagined where you are shouting so loud, but yet you are wrong? Very embarrassing situation. Confrontation will always exist, but remember that disagreement does not equal rejection. Therefore, the best way to win is to forget to keep score. Thank you for your time. If you find this useful, please share it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll see you next week. Thank you and God bless.